Yeah, this is Donald Rich from San Antonio. Actually, we currently use Xcel SO for my daughter. My daughter Sierra actually had a very, very, very bad case of eczema from infancy, from the time we brought her home from the hospital as a newborn all the way up until she was about 5 years old. And unfortunately, she would have her skin was so dry that her skin would actually crack and peel to the point where it would bleed and actually ooze pus and things like that. Sierra would actually, sometimes there would be instances where during the night she would scratch and scratch and scratch because it itched so bad that it would just reopen those wounds and reopen those sores, and sometimes her little skin or the little area that had been now infected would now stick to the sheets, and she'd cry when she would get up, things like that. So we had started putting mittens on her to kind of try to see if that would help. Maybe it was just her and an itching behavior, and we took her to the doctor and we found out that it was eczema. And the doctor tried everything with us, just different types of steroid ointments, different type of antibacterials, steroid ointments, by mouth and by cream, and nothing seemed to work. I had a good friend of mine. It was actually a boss of mine who had come in contact with Xcel SO, and she passed it on to me and told me, you really got to try this. I had given it to my daughter and passed it on, and it worked amazingly. We started using it on the problem areas, and within a couple of days, within 4 or 5 days, it actually started clearing up the area, and in about 2 weeks' time, the area was completely normal and moist. Unfortunately, it just didn't. The eczema didn't affect just certain problem areas. She was dry all over, but it never got to where her skin was cracking all over her body. So we started using the Xcel SO after we'd give her a bath, and we started rubbing her down with the Xcel SO, and she has had complete moisture in her skin ever since. We used to compare her to almost like a reptile skin, like a lizard skin, real dry, and now she has that baby soft skin that every baby has, and no more scratching, no more painful nights, no more crying nights, things like that. Xcel SO has been a real blessing to me and my wife. Well, we started giving it to her when she was about 5 years old. She's now 6.5 and has yet to have another outbreak. I don't even think we can actually compare it. Put it on a scale between 1 and 10, it would blow right out of the other side of a 10. The products that the doctors were giving us weren't working; they weren't helping whatsoever. And Xcel SO worked, almost immediately. Like I said, within 5 days, it started clearing it up. It's beyond a 10. Lots of sleepless nights and trying to comfort a child who really didn't understand why her arms and the backside of her knees were bleeding and things like that. And when we started using it, it cleared up, and she hasn't had an outbreak in a year and a half, or possibly more now. So yeah, at first we had so many different steroid ointments and so many different oral treatments that nothing had worked. It had just become to a point where she has eczema, and we just need to make sure that we're using non-allergenic detergents and soaps and shampoos and things of that nature. So we were skeptical, and when we started using it, it started working right away. That's when we became more and more believers. And like I said, when those problem areas cleared up, we started using it on her entire body, and the baby soft skin that the children have came back. She, even from birth, she didn't have that baby soft skin. She was real dry, even from just coming home from the hospital. So it was like a completely different child. She was happy. She was, playing. She didn't have to worry about always itching or waking up during the night. So yeah. I sent some pictures into you once before. I believe you have them on the website of the little girl's arms. That's actually my daughter. Any of the listeners out there, if you guys really want to see it work, those pictures are within 5 and 10 days. And you really can see the progress of how quickly this actually works. So I encourage anyone listening to take a look at it and see the results.